everyone. So, wow, okay, I'm gonna try and make this video not take too long, but basically if you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw that I had a long travel break. It was my first travel break being a part of DIS Copenhagen. Basically you get 3 of them, one of which will be your core course week, but the other 2 you can do whatever with, and thought I wasn't gonna do anything with them for a while. Ended up doing some stuff in Amsterdam and Barcelona. So I kind of want to just do a quick summary of the trip because I took a lot of footage and I want to of course have it documented somewhere. But basically I want to highlight a couple points before I begin. One of them being, if you are studying abroad, don't feel like you have to travel all the time. It's great if you have these sorts of breaks to really dedicate those times to travel, but otherwise if you stay in your study abroad city, you stay in your study abroad city. That's cool too. There's a lot to explore. Being out and exploring these other cities actually made me realize like I have not done nearly enough of the stuff that I want to do in Copenhagen. So I've already got some travel like booked and planned coming up as well. But yeah, once I wrap all of that up, I feel like I am set because traveling wears you out. It really does. I did this entire week just with a backpack. The backpack that you guys saw in my packing for Copenhagen video or packing for study abroad video, whichever it was that brown LL Bean one that has quite a lot of pockets on it. Yeah, I did the entire week, 2 different countries in that, one being like a colder country and the other being warm. I'm thinking of filming a video like how to backpack in Europe for a week. It's not like hiking sort of backpacking, but just like if you want to pack everything in the backpack essentially is what the video would be. But let me know what you guys want to see in regards to that. But let's just get into what I did. Things might be a little out of order, but we're just gonna go for it. Yeah, so first and foremost, to kick things off, I went to Amsterdam, which I have been to Amsterdam before, but it was back when I was like 12 years old and it was only for like a day. It was coming back from Nigeria, but it's actually what made me kind of fall in love with Northern Europe. I just remember seeing the bike culture there and I felt like everything was just so clean. I don't know. Basically, it made me want to come back to Amsterdam. So I'm glad I got to do it as more of a young adult now, and I got to experience some things that I definitely didn't get to experience when I was a kid. Went to some excellent museums. If you are a museum person, you're gonna love Amsterdam. One of my favorites, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I have it written. Stedelijk? It's, you probably don't pronounce the J, but basically it's like their modern art museum. There's a lot of great exhibits, some of which I will just like kind of highlight over right now. But the one in particular that stood out to me, and if you follow me on Instagram, it probably caught your attention, was the exhibit called Female Figure by Jordan Wolfson, I believe is the artist's name. I really should have like taken notes for this video. I'm just going off of memory here, guys. Jordan Wolfson, I was right. Honestly, probably one of my favorite artists now. I remember seeing this particular exhibit a couple of years ago when it first kind of hit the scene, and I remember thinking it was a really weird video, a really interesting video. And so I was very excited to get to finally see it in person. If you get the chance to see this in person, I do highly recommend it. It was a super long wait. I had to wait like an extra hour just to reserve my spot because they only allow 4 people in the room at a time. It's probably going to depend on the museum you go to, but that's how it was at this one. But I highly recommend it. And I also enjoyed all of his other work. I didn't get the name of this one, but there was one where he was basically going on YouTube and just clicking on random videos in the related list every time he typed in. He would type in like Braveheart and click on a video, and then he'd like go into the related and click on something else, and pretty soon it got super chaotic. He'd have like his iTunes running in the background. Very interesting to watch. I really enjoy his work. It's pretty out there, maybe not for everyone, but I thought it was great. Also went to the Van Gogh Museum, which was packed. Yeah, that kind of took away from it, but otherwise it was a great spot. I do recommend checking it out. I also went to the Moco Museum, which had a Banksy exhibit and a Salvador Dali exhibit. Kind of an interesting combination there, but both were pretty interesting. I wouldn't consider myself a Banksy fan, but it was interesting seeing his work in person, so I will say that. Also went to, I think this was the last museum I went to, it's called Red Light Secrets, which is basically just about the red light district and prostitution in Amsterdam. It's of course legal there, and this was a really great sex positive exhibit, or rather sex positive museum. I did the sort of audio tour of it, which I recommend because, I don't know, it just really added to the experience. You get get to like walk through their rooms essentially and just kind of see the crap that you have to deal with being a prostitute in the red light district. It's very interesting, so I highly recommend that one. It was probably one of my favorites. And I think that's all the museums I hit. Got some really great food at a lot of places. I'll try to just like throw all of those out there right now. I don't know if I'm gonna remember all the names. I did get to go to one of those places where they put pasta in a wheel of cheese. Sorry, all my vegan viewers, but they put pasta in a wheel of cheese, and like highly recommend. But you can get that anywhere. We also took a little detour one of the days and went to a town called Edam. Now be careful if you go there. The day we went, everything happened to be like closed, so that sucked, but it was a really great break from the like hustle and bustle of Amsterdam, so that was nice. Also explored some really great vintage shops. Just, I don't know, I love Amsterdam. I still love it just as much as when I was 12 years old and only got a taste of it. I thought it was a great time and I would definitely go back again. So after that then we went to Barcelona, which was a completely different city, way warmer, which was really nice. Actually ended up meeting a girl. Okay, this is like a long string of events. I forgot to mention I stayed at a hostel called The Generator in Amsterdam, which I highly recommend. Really, really nice, pretty social atmosphere. It was a great way to kind of meet people who were staying there as well. It was very clean, so that's always good. But basically I met a girl there who ended up connecting me with another girl because we ended up hanging out that night who lived in Barcelona. So when I was in Barcelona, I got to hang out with this girl again, so that was really cool. But basically I had like lunch with her and one of her friends one day, and they were saying how Spain is kind of perceived as the California of Europe, which I thought was really funny, and it was kind of true. I'm gonna be honest, I've never been to California, but let me know in the comments, have you been to both Spain and California, and how would you compare the two? Because there was times where I was walking around and I was like, I kind of feel like I'm in America right now. Like I kind of just feel like I'm walking around in LA or something. I don't know. I'm sure it's quite different, but that was definitely the vibe I got. But again, got some great food there, got to do the whole tapas scene, so that was nice. Did a really nice walking tour of the city. Really, this trip was just a lot of walking and sightseeing, which I definitely recommend doing. We only took public transport once our whole time in Barcelona. We got a 72-hour tram pass when we were in Amsterdam, which was great. I recommend doing that. But for Barcelona, you really don't need anything. The only time we needed it, or the only time we needed public transport, was to take a bus to the area where they filmed Strut by the Cheetah Girls. Had to go there, but unfortunately you have to pay to get into the actual park itself, so I didn't do that. I just hovered around like a creep. Park Gal is the name of it. But yeah, we had to take a bus up there. Otherwise, that was it. There was a point where we walked to the like beach at night. We did take a taxi back from that because I don't know what we were thinking. We did get to see the Basilica de la Sagrada Familia, which is gorgeous. It is the big like unfinished church there. It's not going to be finished for a while, but it is still quite a sight. And even if you are someone who's like not into churches, like doesn't matter, it's still a really cool place to check out if you're into architecture in the slightest. And yeah, there's not too much else to say. For both of these trips I kind of just didn't really make an itinerary. I went with one other girl. We met up with another girl who's in the program in Amsterdam, but otherwise it was just kind of meeting people in our hostels. Almost forgot to mention my hostel again for Barcelona. We stayed at Casa Kessler, I believe is what it was called, and loved it. They had a great little deck area. It was very clean again. It was a lot different from the Generator, but still a good place. I would still recommend it. Both cities were pretty affordable, especially compared to Copenhagen. By the end of my stay in both of the cities, I kind of was missing Copenhagen. I, got back to the rain hitting my face as soon as I exited the metro, but I kind of just felt like I was back at my home away from home. So that was my travel week, my first travel week. My next one, I will be going to Norway with my Sustainable Development in Northern Europe class, so I will definitely document that. And my last travel break will actually be with my parents because they're going to be visiting. So I think we are going to Berlin and Paris for that. So yeah, that's what's on the agenda. Otherwise, I'm going to Brussels this upcoming weekend. By the time you're watching this, I've probably already been there. But as I said at the start of my video, that I think is about it for my travel because I feel like I've seen a lot. I'm really happy with what I've seen. I haven't gone everywhere maybe that I would want to cross off my bucket list one day, but that's okay. So yes, I believe that is it. Coming up, I should be filming a favorites video actually pretty soon. I have just some random odds and ends unrelated to study abroad that I want to talk about. And then of course, just some other videos I have planned related to study abroad. But let me know what you guys want to see and I will be sure to make those videos happen. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.